So before we start the video, I just wanted to really show you guys this poster that I got over the weekend. Right now it's covered in plastic, nice and protected. That's because it's actually made by someone here near Austin, and I'm just gonna slowly pan it down. You guys can go ahead and pause to, catch all of the nice little small glimpses in there. I'll be honest, I can recognize only about a couple of them. There's probably some that I don't even realize that are there, like a couple of Easter eggs there. Now, the guy said there's like probably 13 in the entire thing, but I don't know, maybe there's a couple that maybe even he didn't spot. So, anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. And now we're actually gonna do the video. So, what exactly are we talking about today? Well, today we're going to be talking about Ready Player One. Specifically, we're going to be reacting to a video made by MatPat from the Film Theorists. Now, it's just got everything out of the table. I really do like the Film Theorists. I do subscribe to them. I do enjoy a lot of the videos they make. They're both hilarious and informative, and honestly, that's where I get half of my education, believe it or not. But I will go ahead and say that the video that he did on Ready Player One, specifically about the stacks, I'm not going to say it's completely wrong. There are certain things that he does get correct. However, there are certain things that honestly I think he kind of left out, or that I feel like, after watching the movie, I think that may just be incorrect or debunked. So, and not only that, but I think there are certain other reasons for the way the movie goes out. So, first off, let's actually go into the real meat of it. And yeah, that's just, by the way, before we continue on, I would like to recommend you guys the film that the video where this video is inspired off of. I'll leave a link down in the description. So this is just a response video. Alright, so, don't hate on the guy. He's honestly pretty good. He's honestly a pretty chill dude. I just really want to get this off my chest. But first, let's actually recap what happens in Ready Player One. Now, from what I know from both reading the actual novel and from watching the movie, like, I went like twice. It was that good. Like, I had to go, the first time to just try to get the entire story, get the entire ambiance, and the second time was just to, find Easter eggs. Yeah, that's what I was doing Easter. I was legitimately looking for Easter eggs on Easter Sunday. You can't say I wasn't doing anything. Well, that and just remembering the fact that Jesus Christ died for our sins, and that this is the day of his resurrection. But anyways, come to think about it, this might be a Jesus story. Okay. So basically, the story takes place in the 2040s when society is pretty much starting to break down, and in order to escape from their reality, people start going into something known as the Oasis, which is basically a VR game that takes advantage of of sensory goggles and haptic gloves, which are basically gloves that let you simulate what it feels like to grab something in a video game. Now, in the events by 2040, the creator of the game, whose name is James Halliday, had just recently passed away and announced that he had left an Easter egg in the game that could only be opened by finding 3 keys. Once those 3 keys are found, then the person who obtains the Easter egg will also inherit his fortune as well as complete control of the Oasis. Now, the story takes place from the perspective of Wade Watts, a kid living in something known as the Stacks in Columbus, Ohio. However, in the book, it's in Oklahoma. Yeah, I honestly don't know why they changed it. I guess they just didn't want to see him go cross-country inside of an armored vehicle. But yeah, long story short, the Stacks are these gargantuan structures that are made just by piling RVs and mobile homes on top of each other. Now he's not the only one looking for him. He is one of many gunters or Easter egg hunters who are looking for Halliday's Easter egg. And to top it all off, there are even major corporations, including one called the IOI, who are searching for this Easter egg as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. That's pretty much it. And I think we kind of already know how this movie ends, but yeah, let's just say the ride, it's a damn good ride with a lot of scenery. So yeah, that's pretty much my 20-second review. I already reviewed this, so if you guys want to go back and look at the channel, I'll leave that in the description too. So pretty much, yeah, according to MatPat in his video, this structure would pretty much be impossible to make without them being anywhere safe or without being approved by the city. I'll get to that later. But first off, let's actually check just how safe these things are. Now, for a quick background, wait a minute. Okay, so I actually did work in construction, during my teenage years, working alongside my dad, and I don't know why there are a bunch of white guys here. Hang on a second. There we go. Those are typically the guys I hang around with in my teenage years during the summer. So yeah, the reason why I actually got to go to a Vocaloid concert when I was in the summer is because I was actually getting paid by my dad to work alongside him. I wasn't exactly the best worker. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. I cannot screw in a light bulb to save my life. But for some reason, I know how to install a toilet, I know how to put on tile, I know how to install electrical outlets. I think the only reason why I don't know how to screw in a light bulb is because our boss is a hipster who thinks that, everything should be LEDs. LEDs there, LEDs there, Which, in the end, basically makes me the only Mexican that doesn't know how to screw in a light bulb. So, yeah, so that's pretty much my background, and I have seen how they do things. I won't say the full expertise of it, but yeah, that's pretty much my only credentials in here. So let's actually look for anything that might actually help us with this. So first off, we can't find mobile homes stacked on top of each other. Remember, this is something that was sort of added in for the sake of ridiculousness, but, we're going to ever speculate anyways. And the closest thing I could find to mobile homes stacked on top of each other would actually be shipping containers. The kinds that you see on ships and the kinds that get carried around by trucks. Now, the reason why is for three basic reasons. One, just like the structures in Ready Player One, they are modular, meaning that you can stack on top of them in any way that you can stack them. And two, they're both around the same weight, the same size, give or take. And three, they have both been used as structures to live in. So yeah, you can actually use these to build a nice residential. You can actually outfit a one of those containers to actually be livable. Some people have actually lived in a desert with these things. So yeah, long story short, how high can you stack these things before they become too dangerous? Well, according to the source, the book, they say that some of these stacks can actually be up to 20 units high, or 240 feet. That's basically the estimation I got. So if anyone can make better numbers than me, then feel free to do so. However, as to how high shipping containers can be stacked, on empty, they can be stacked up until 12 units, or 144 feet. Now, two things. One, Wade could be over-speculating on how high those things can get. However, or, it's like he's just elaborating on how tall these things are. Or, I don't know, maybe they really did stack them 20 units high, and they are just, it's no wonder these things are collapsing. However, if you really think about it, 12 feet, like 144 feet is something that is really scary. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. For some reason, in the plane, I'm not that scared of heights, but when I'm in a building, I freak out. Like, I'm just like hugging the pillars, or just like, especially if it's surrounded by glass. However, that's on empty. If on full, we can safely say they're around maybe 9 units high, give or take. So it wouldn't be exactly that impossible to see trailer homes stacked on top of each other before they reach a point where it's like there's no way these things can be stacked any higher. So that's pretty much it. So in a way they can happen, but then what if they do reach that that 240 feet. So if you really think about it, in the future there would be a shortage of skilled labor. Now, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, anyone can learn this, but to actually truly master it, or to actually make quality homes that would last for a while, it's not exactly something that's that easy. Nor, in fact, the reason why I wouldn't do that is because A, it's tiring for me, B, I get allergic to a lot of stuff in there. Like, you do not want to touch insulation, trust me. And also because, quite frankly, it's not something that would, offer me a lot of choices, and that would mean that there's a reason why I haven't done YouTube in a while until recently. So, yeah, long story short, there's a shortage of labor. And that's pretty much what's going on in the Oasis. That's why people have decided to just stack mobile homes and have them interconnected with each other, because there's very few people that are actually willing to build permanent housing. So, yeah, if you really think about it, my dad, in a couple of years, will pretty much be an endangered species. Think about that. It's not the wall that stops immigrants from coming, it's the Oasis. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Let me know if this maybe got a little more political than I thought it would be. I try to avoid politics as much as I can. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Hang on. My little guy needs to go do something. Yo. So, yeah. So, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. And, yeah, just subscribe to the channel, leave a like, ring the bell notification, go to my Twitter, see if there's stuff that you might like. And the question I have for you guys today is, if the Oasis actually became a real thing, what would you do in there? Honestly, was this one of the concepts that was teased in the movie and was mentioned a lot in the book, but I would definitely like to be a teacher in one of the Ludus schools. Like, if you really think, like, by the time the Oasis becomes mainstream, I'll probably be a pretty old man, like maybe in my 50s, and I'd probably end up being a teacher there. I would definitely like to be a history teacher, though, because that would... Here's what I was hoping. I was hoping they'd talk a little bit more about the Ludus schools in the movie. That's like the one bummer I had, because if you really think about it, there's like some perfect Easter egg moments that you could have done, especially when you consider how Steven Spielberg was the guy directing the film, and he's also the guy responsible for he was also responsible for Saving Private Ryan, and he kind of had a little bit of an influential hand in the Medal of Honor series. And if you really think about it, it's like, just imagine just taking a bunch of students on a field trip to D-Day. Like, oh my god, it's like, oh my god, that would be amazing. Like just saying, okay, class, so yeah, this is June 6th. 1944, the start of Operation Overlord. So yeah, the objective: cross the beach, get to the seawall, go get your Bangalores ready, and get ready to kill a bunch of Nazis. Joey, did you just puke? Yeah, yeah, Joey, I told you, man. Yeah, I told you not to eat a lot of cereal this morning. This is why. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Let's see how much you study. I'll see you on the beach! So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. And until then, this is me saying, thank you for being smart. Sayonara.